Have you ever felt like you're walking on eggshells around someone? That one person who seems to drain all the energy out of a room, twisting conversations, and thriving on drama? You try to be reasonable, you try to talk it out, but it only seems to make things worse. You feel trapped, exhausted, and powerless. What if I told you there's a way to reclaim your power, not by playing their game, but by changing the rules entirely? We're not talking about feel-good advice that crumbles in the face of a true manipulator. Today we're diving into the cold, hard strategies of one of history's most brilliant political minds, Niccolo Machiavelli, and adapting his principles for modern-day psychological warfare. These are the 7 cold laws for dealing with toxic people, designed to protect your peace and put you back in control. Stick around, because this isn't just about surviving, it's about outmaneuvering them for good. First, let's establish a core principle. Toxic people are emotional vampires. They feed on your reactions. Your anger is their fuel, your frustration is their victory, and your drama is their entertainment. The moment you react, you've lost. This is where Machiavelli's first cold law comes in. Master the art of silence and observation. When a toxic person tries to provoke you with insults, passive-aggressive comments, or outright lies, your instinct is to defend yourself, to correct them, to fight back. Don't. Instead, become a stone wall. Offer a blank stare, a neutral expression, maybe a single dismissive nod. In that silence, you're not being weak. You're gathering intelligence. You're observing their tactics, their triggers, their desperate need for a reaction. By refusing to engage, you deny them the emotional fuel they crave. You turn their weapon, provocation, into a useless piece of metal. Your silence is not emptiness. It is a calculated, strategic void that they cannot conquer. They'll escalate, they'll get frustrated, but eventually, they will burn themselves out against the wall of your composure. The second law is to control the battlefield. Machiavelli knew that the environment of a conflict is just as important as the conflict itself. Toxic people excel in environments they can control, their home, their office, or even a text message thread where they can bombard you without interruption. Your job is to change the venue. Never have a serious discussion on their turf. If they try to corner you at a family gathering, calmly state, "This isn't the time or place," and walk away. If they start an argument over text, leave them on read or respond with, "We can talk about this in person later." Better yet, shift interactions to neutral public spaces. A coffee shop, a park, places where they are less likely to cause a scene. By controlling the where and when of your interactions, you strip them of their environmental advantage. You dictate the terms of engagement, forcing them to operate in a setting where their usual tactics of intimidation and emotional manipulation are less effective. You become the architect of the encounter, not a pawn in their pre-planned drama. This leads us directly to the third cold law. Starve them of attention. Attention is the oxygen for a toxic person's ego. Positive or negative, it doesn't matter. As long as they are the center of it, they are winning. Your strategy is to put them on an attention diet. This is the gray rock method, but with a Machiavellian twist. When they boast, give them a simple, "That's nice." When they complain and seek sympathy, offer a non-committal, "I see." You become as boring and unresponsive as a gray rock. You don't ignore them completely. That can be seen as a challenge. Instead, you give them the bare minimum. Your responses are short, unenthusiastic, and devoid of emotion. You don't ask follow-up questions. You don't offer opinions. You make interacting with you an utterly unsatisfying experience. They are looking for a rich meal of emotional engagement, and you're serving them a plate of flavorless dust. Soon enough, like any creature seeking sustenance, they will move on to find a more rewarding source of attention. Now, for the fourth and perhaps most quintessentially Machiavellian law, wear a mask. Machiavelli famously wrote, It is necessary to know how to disguise this nature well, and to be a great hypocrite and a liar. Now, we're not advocating for you to become a dishonest person. Instead, we're talking about strategic self-preservation. With toxic people, your true feelings and intentions are ammunition they will use against you. So, you must wear a mask of pleasant, detached neutrality. Conceal your anger, hide your plans, and never reveal what truly bothers you. If they sense they've hit a nerve, they will hammer on it relentlessly. So if their comment stings, you smile politely. If their actions are infuriating you, you maintain a calm, almost bored demeanor. This mask is your shield. It prevents them from knowing what works on you. It keeps your inner state private and protected. They can't manipulate what they can't see. You are playing a character, the unbothered, unfazed individual who is simply above their petty games. This isn't about being fake. It's about being a strategist who protects their most valuable asset, their inner peace. The fifth law is to favor indirect action. Direct confrontation with a toxic person is like wrestling a pig in the mud. You both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. Machiavelli was a master of using indirect means to achieve his goals, and you can be too. Instead of confronting the toxic person yourself, you can use circumstances or even other people to manage the situation. For example, if a toxic coworker is constantly dumping their work on you, don't argue with them. Instead, go to your boss and ask for clarification on project roles, framing it as a desire for efficiency. Let the authority figure set the boundary for you. If a toxic family member dominates every conversation, you can subtly redirect the conversation by asking another, quieter person a direct question. You act as a conductor, not a soloist. You nudge things in the right direction without ever placing yourself in the line of fire. This requires creativity and subtlety, but it allows you to weaken their position and influence without ever engaging in a head-on battle. You let the system, the rules, or social dynamics do the heavy lifting for you. But sometimes a situation is unsalvageable. And that brings us to the sixth and most decisive law. When you must strike, make it a clean cut. Machiavelli advised that when you have to inflict an injury, it should be so severe that you do not have to fear their revenge. In our context, this isn't about harming them, it's about separation. When you've decided that a person is too toxic to manage, the separation must be swift, total, and final. No long, drawn-out goodbyes, no let's still be friends negotiations, no dramatic final confrontation where you list all their wrongdoings. That is just one last meal for the emotional vampire. You simply cut them off. Block their number. Unfriend them on social media. Change your routines to avoid them. You disappear from their life without warning or explanation. It may seem harsh, but this cold turkey approach prevents them from pulling you back in with guilt trips, promises to change, or hoovering tactics. A clean cut ensures there is no wound left to fester. It's a surgical removal of the toxicity from your life. It is the ultimate act of self-preservation. Finally, we arrive at the seventh and ultimate law, the one that ties all the others together. Victory is silence. In the end, the true measure of your success in dealing with a toxic person is not a grand victory, a public takedown, or a final satisfying "I told you so." It's not about proving you were right. True victory is your own unwavering peace. It's the moment you realize they tried to provoke you, and you felt nothing. It's the quiet evening where you're not replaying their hurtful words in your mind. It's the ability to see them from a distance and feel only indifference, not anger or fear. Your ultimate power over them is your refusal to participate in their reality. By mastering silence, controlling the environment, starving them of attention, wearing a mask, using indirect action, and cutting ties when necessary, you achieve a state of inner tranquility that they can never touch. You didn't win their game. You chose not to play. And in the world of psychological warfare, that is the most profound victory of all. These 7 laws aren't about becoming cold and heartless. They are about being strategic and self-protective. They are about understanding the game so you don't have to be a casualty of it. You are reclaiming your power, preserving your energy, and most importantly, protecting your peace of mind, which is the most valuable thing you own. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you or gave you a new perspective, I'd be so grateful if you'd hit that like button. And for more content on strategy, psychology, and personal empowerment, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. Let me know in the comments which of these laws you found most powerful, or if you have a strategy of your own. Stay strong, stay strategic, and I'll see you in the next video.